Welcome to the WolfCenter Sports Special. I'm Josh Walker. I'm here to bring you all sports that is football in and around the area of Carrollton. To start off, let's go with high school football. High school football signing day was just a few weeks ago. Just down the road, local Carrollton High School made its mark with 8 signings. Let's take a look at some of those players who decided to play at the collegiate level. Highlighting the signing class is All-American defensive tackle Dontavius Russell, who originally committed to Georgia, decided to go across the border and take his talents to Auburn. Russell also had offers from Alabama, Clemson, Florida, and the national champion, Florida State Seminoles. At 6'3", 300 pounds, Dontavius Russell plugs up the middle and is a defensive nightmare for quarterbacks. At his stature, Russell runs an impressive 5.1 second 40-yard dash, bench presses 290, and squats 410. Making just as many plays defensively as Russell was the primary Trojan shutdown corner at DeAntoine Kamens. The 180-pound quarterback anchored an athletic secondary, leading the Trojans in every statistical category. Kamens had 56 total tackles with 33 solo tackles, 4 interceptions, and 102 return yards and 3 pass deflections. His athleticism is highlighted in his 4.5 second 40-yard dash, while he bench presses 275 and squats 415. Coming out of the backfield for Carrollton and onto the inaugural team for Kennesaw State this fall is Trey Chivers. The 5'11", 206-pound running back has speed, power, and big play ability as he accounted for over 784 rushing yards and 14 rushing touchdowns. Showing his offensive prowess, Chivers was also the team's leading receiver with 17 receptions for 335 yards and 3 scores. An athlete in his truest form, Chivers runs a 4-yard dash in 4.5 seconds, bench presses 320, and squats 435. NC State landed talented tight end Cole Cook. At 6'6", 230 pounds, Cook is a force to be reckoned with as a blocker and as a receiver, accounting for many of the key blocks that gave Chivers some big running room. Cook also caught 4 passes for 71 yards and a touchdown for the Trojans this past year. Cook runs the 40-yard dash in 4.75 seconds, the bench presses 300, and squats 415. Choosing to stay close to home to Carrollton is quarterback Will Garrett, as he signed with UWG. Showcasing his dual-threat abilities, Garrett accounted for 28 total touchdowns with 13 coming through the air. Garrett passed for over 1,100 yards with a 61% completion percentage as he piloted the Trojans to a second-place finish at state this past year. Excited about his future as a Wolf, Garrett commented on what went into his decision to come to the university.
Just the family atmosphere and the facilities they got over there and the new coaching staff I think is real impressive. I know Coach Hall came off a good winning season last year, won the conference, so I knew that was something that West Georgia's going to be climbing off of. I know they're going to be on the rise, and that's just the place I want to be the next 4 years.
One of the overlooked positions in football is the punter. However, in the case of Carrollton last year, Tyler Newsom was one of the most talked about players on the team. Also doubling as the kicker, Newsom's golden foot helped the Trojans all throughout special teams. Newsom was also perfect on the season with field goals and PATs while averaging 38.6 yards per punt, with 10 being down inside the 20. Impressed by his play, the University of Notre Dame offered him a full ride to kick the ball for the Irish. Renowned kicking experts at coleskicking.com say Tyler has a huge upside and one of the best athletes in the 2014 class. The ball explodes off his foot. Paying attention to the big guys up front, offensive line featured Jake Sanders. The 6'5", 315-pound offensive guard protected the quarterback and the backfield relentlessly and effectively. Highly sought after for his abilities, Sanders signed to play for Duke over offers from California, Cincinnati, Kansas State, and Mississippi State. Carrollton featured a 2-headed monster at the tight end position with Cook and now Brandon Walton. Along with his 6'6", 220-pound stature, Walton's play is equally imposing as he was all over the field making plays on both sides of the ball. Appalachian State recruited Walton at tight end after catching 5 passes for 113 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Trojans this past season. Walton runs the 40-yard dash in 4.8 seconds, bench presses 325, and squats 425. Following 12 seasons and a second-place finish at state this past year, Carrollton head football coach Raven Teague has decided to step away from the game and retire. 24 years in the business as a head coach, Teague has amassed over 200 career wins, 7 quarterfinal appearances, and 3 trips to the state final, winning 1 at Swinsboro in 2000. Now that he's stepping away from the game after all of his success, I asked Coach Teague what he would most like to be remembered for.
I hope they remember the quality program that we produced, the young men that we produced and had the privilege of working with. I hope that they think of the program and they think as one of the cornerstones being spiritual and Christ driven. I hope that they believe that I was a man of character and integrity. That's very important to me. And I hope that all of the young men that played have great memories of their days as a Trojan.
Though his career plans for the future are not finalized just yet, Coach T is excited for the next chapter in his life as he walks away from Carrollton with the best of memories. After his retirement of Coach Teague anyway, there is now a new face of Trojan football. Ed Dudley was introduced as the new head football coach of Carrollton High School. Dudley was unanimously approved by the Carrollton Board of Education, making him the 5th Trojan head coach since 1957. As for his future in Carrollton, Dudley deems it to be a tremendous honor and a privilege, noting that it's both exciting and intimidating. Before accepting the Carrollton job, Dudley spent the past 22 years as a head coach between Buford, Walton, and Ware County, amassing over 180 career wins.